Families and survivors gathered on the Flathead Reservation for Fentanyl Awareness Day Walk. The event was about remembering loved ones and standing together against fentanyl. The toll has been devastating for families across the reservation.
A little over a year ago, our daughter, Katie, passed away in Maricopa County Jail. So she was in custody in Arizona and was able to get a hold of drugs, and she OD'd there. And that was hard. It was tough. You know, we had to wait for her to get home. Had to wait for answers. We didn't know what happened for a long time. And then we learned what caused her death. So that was the second OD. And then in October, I got word that my son Jordy passed away again from an OD, and he was in Washington. So we had to wait for him to come home too. Katie didn't have children, but Jordy had children. My sister Danelle had children. You know, so we have kids out here that don't have parents anymore. My kids have lost their siblings. We lost a lot, and it's devastating. It's a piece is always missing. You know, I still want to see this. I want to see Kate's laugh. I want to hear Kate's laugh. I want to see George smile, and they're gone.
The walk also gave survivors a chance to share how grief fueled their addiction and how recovery gave them strength.
My fentanyl use started with grief. I lost a brother that got hit on the highway and didn't know how to cope with it. Somebody introduced me to fentanyl, and it went from there.
In 2023, Ty lost her husband to a fentanyl overdose. The loss led her deeper into addiction, until she realized she couldn't let her kids lose two parents.
I guess just not wanting to die anymore. Not wanting to hurt my family or leave my kids behind. Just seeing that whatever fentanyl is in fentanyl today is bad. Like, it's not like it used to be, and it's just killing our people. Like, all of us young ones are going, and it's sad. I don't want to be on a board.
Organizers also urge the community to carry Narcan, a medication that can reverse overdoses.
I've lost people close to me from overdose. My best friend overdosed. I overdosed in 2023. Thankfully, the pre-release center I was at had Narcan. It saved my life. I'm just hoping that somebody will take the message, you know what I mean? Take some Narcan with them. It should save a life, you know what I mean? You never know when you'll need it, for sure.
For law enforcement, the crisis remains overwhelming. Just 2 investigators are dedicated full-time to drug cases on the reservation.
We have reports of overdoses every day, you know, not necessarily deaths, but just people overdosing.
Even with limited staff, they remain dedicated to confronting the crisis.
It's super frustrating, especially like I grew up here, I lived here, and I was one of those kids that I lived in Polson and Pablo and Ronan and Arley, and I lived in the tribal housings, and we grew up pretty tough, and there was substance abuse in our family, and people in our family dying young, and friends that I've grew up with and known, and it's frustrating to come out and work so much to try to confront these things, and it's around. I mean, it's overwhelming.
Grief counselor Sarah Dempsey says the cycle of grief and addiction is especially painful in Native communities, where every loss ripples across extended families.
On the reservation, we experience a lot of grief because we experience a lot of death. Indigenous people have the highest rates of suicide, addiction, heart attacks. We have the lowest life expectancy. We also have really small and tight-knit communities. So when one person dies, the whole community often feels it. One of the top protective factors for Indigenous communities is connection to their people, but also to their traditional and cultural values. So what are our cultural values surrounding grief? You know, what are our connecting and healing practices? How do you connect with your environment, with the earth, with the mountains or the lake, you know, what is connecting and what is relieving for you? What's helpful? Maybe it's just lighting a candle for your person every day, and you're just gonna think about them for 1 minute. Like, how can you just be in that uncomfortable truth that your person or your people died and it really sucks, but this is where you're at? And then how can you model that for other people? How can you support other people?
So from braids and long hair to the most powerful prayer, we as natives, we of the 7 nations, will no longer hide. We rise. We, all nations, stand in pride. Lemnach.
Reporting for Char-Koosta News on the Flathead Reservation, I'm Liz Dempsey.